What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy D Dyson. Loki, man, had to watch the episode twice. Got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, watched about 15 minutes of it, then went back to sleep. Woke up, finished it, and then wanted to watch it again in its entirety. I want to say this is actually not one of the best. This is the best Marvel show that they created, other than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision. Kevin Feige, salute to Kevin Feige, because they know what they're doing. Like, when you have a direction like that, somebody like that at the helm who knows what they're doing with the direction, like, they know what everything is going to happen. And I'm telling myself, when it comes to Loki, 6 episodes, I remember when I heard the announcement that it was 6 episodes, I kept telling myself that's not enough. When WandaVision had, I believe, 8 or 10, so I was telling myself, I'm like, it's not enough. But when Falcon and Winter Soldier had came out, 6 episodes was perfect. So when Loki had started, it really picked up right where it ended, and when he took the Tesseract from Endgame and seeing what his life was going to be after that. So I loved how every episode it broke down, here's what this timeline would have happened. Everything that we known about Loki, from Thor Ragnarok to Avengers Infinity Wars to Avengers Endgame, like, we seen the softer side, the lesser side of Loki, where he stopped being so mischievous and really captured our hearts, so to speak, and tried to make it right at the end before Thanos killed him. So he got to see that in the TVA, and like I was saying in my other videos, like, it really, really created something. Like, okay, let's understand how this is. Then you start hearing the word Nexus being thrown around, where he was creating a Nexus parallel universe, where a Nexus event would happen, meaning that it wasn't supposed to happen, where he takes the Tesseract and leaves and then goes somewhere else. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. That altered that timeline, or that altered that universe. So we heard that first word Nexus up in WandaVision because she's a Nexus being. Like, she can create reality because she's that powerful. I really feel like Doctor Strange is also a Nexus being, knowing that he is the keeper of time and understands the multiverse. So he is also, a Nexus being. Or Mordo might be one, because, like I said, they understand that sorcery, where Mordo may be approached by Kang at some point. But fast forward to this, like, this whole thing with Morbius, I love Owen Wilson, how he really, really created Morbius and just kind of understood, what to look for. And when he started finding this variant Loki, I was telling myself, I'm like, is that Kang? In the first episode, when it was in with the oil and they dropped it and she burned everybody, I was like, man, could that be Kang? Could they introduce Kang? And this, hopefully they will, like, the next big baddie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And turns out it wasn't. It was Sophie, which is the female Loki, or Enchantress, as some people had called it, especially on New Rockstars. But her whole mission was to destroy the TVA, because of what they did to her, snatching her up at 6 years old before she could even do anything. Like, she was, quote unquote, probably going to be a Nexus being. And I feel like the reason why they snatched her up was because of Kang's ultimate master plan. Like, you're the one that's supposed to kill Kang the Conqueror, snatch her up at 6 years old. But she somehow eluded all these years until Kang probably was like, it's been my master plan all along. Like, knowing Sylvie wanting to destroy the TVA and whoever's behind it, and just fast forwarding how they got to that point, and how how Sylvie really enchanted that's one of her strong suits, and one of her strong powers is that she enchants people to do whatever they say, or do whatever she wants them to do, but also unlocking the memories of where she can get information, as she did with that commander, is get information out of them. And that was something that she was kind of learning, is that these people had a life before, like they've been there before. So it was like, so she was working her way up, and she started understanding that the TVA, they're all variants. And that was something she passed on to Loki, like they're all variants. This is what happened. He was kind of like the lion, and then she showed him as well, like they're all variants of themselves. So something about this TVA doesn't seem right, and that's when he started like, okay, something isn't right. Somebody's at a foot here. Somebody's running it differently. So when he got back to Mobius and trying to tell Mobius about it, Mobius was like, yeah, you're good, but you're not that good. But at the same time, you could tell Mobius had a heart of understanding. Like, man, I think he might be onto something. And fast forward, Loki gets pruned, and Mobius gets pruned, and you go up to where the timekeepers are, quote unquote, and they're all androids, because Sylvie throws the knife and cuts one of their heads off, and they're all laughing like, yeah, and they just all kind of pass out, because that was the illusion that Kang wanted for everyone. Like, man, these are the three all-powerful. But it's not really illusion. It's just something that he probably understood and probably knew already. But he probably did it himself, where he killed them already. So he just had those three sitting up there just to be like, hey, this is, if anybody need to come up here, let them think that these are the timekeepers type of thing. And just kept it up. And that's why I said, I'm like, I just tell myself, I'm like, when they get pruned, and they go into the Void planet, which is at the end of time, and I can't think of, Alioth is the monster that's kind of eating anybody up. That's just kind of like, hey, you trying to get out of here, or if I see you, it basically plays off your fears, it plays off your strengths. It's just trying to leave them to eat you. So you have all these Lokis, and I remember Morbius, in episode 1 was basically saying, Lokis get pruned more than anything. They're more variant Lokis than anyone. So all these Lokis were at this planet, and it's just so funny because it's like now we're seeing why the Lokis were getting pruned and sitting in that planet, because Kang didn't want, he was trying to look for Sylvie to find her and prune her and keep her on that planet. And that's why I told myself, I'm like, very elaborate plan of what he wanted to do. So I kept telling myself, when Sylvia finally got there, she enchanted Alioth and understood that in the middle of Alioth was a castle. And you needed help from the other Lokis, and I think Richard Grant, I think that's his name, as the classic Loki, who was very strong, by the way. His illusions was very, very strong, when he said that I even tricked the Mad Titan of Thanos, like, about my illusions. That's how I got away and stayed on the planet by himself. And he was like, yeah, I got lonely, I left. And that's when right before I left, the TVA showed up, because it was basically, he was about to create another Nexus event of what he was about to do, which was go back to go see his brother Thor. So he was there, created an illusion to kind of trick Alioth to going over there, and then had Sylvie and Loki enchant Alioth and went to this castle. Now, the last episode, you get to the castle, you see Miss Minutes, at the front of the door, kind of talking to him. It's like, man, how about this? How about we do that? We can restore everything. It'll be totally fine. And you can tell Miss Minutes is probably ran by Kang in another universe. That's probably somebody real. So I can't wait to watch New Rockstars, because I know they had the theory of that could have been Friday that, Kang killed and made her into like a multi-dimensional being in Miss Minutes. And how she was very nervous but creepy at the same time. Started getting more creepier. I love Miss Minutes. I love her voice. Tara, I forgot that girl's name, but I love her voice as Miss Minutes. But it just got creepier and creepier. And then they get to the elevator, and lo and behold, you see Nathaniel Richardson, aka Kang the Conqueror, who is played by the brilliant Jonathan Majors. You just got to see the deep dive of the depth of this character, and they gave him time to flesh him out. You know, he's a little bit eccentric, a little bit insane, but you got to understand from his point of view, because like I said, he's building up the next Thanos. You just seen him in this one form. He's in many different forms. He's called many different names, and you understand his turmoil. You know, like he's conquered all the timelines. He's a master time traveler. So he's ruled in so many different things. So he's trying to give Loki and Sylvie a way out to say, man, don't kill me, but if you do, it's going to be a whole bunch of me that you're not going to like. I'm one of the cool ones, but if you kill me, the rest of me, the variants of me, you're going to see, and it's not going to be good. So the actual Loki was like, I understand. I don't want to unleash something that it's going to be very hard for us to kind of stop. So he tries to stop Sylvie, but Sylvie's mission is, since I was 6 years old, I was born, and since she took me away, I was going to end the TVA. So she wasn't delving away from her mission was to kill Kang. And I feel like that was the ultimate Nexus event that was going to happen. That's why Kang went to great lengths to try to prune all the Lokis, because he was trying to look for Sylvie from stopping that from happening. But at the end, he wanted it to happen. Like, I want this to go down the way it's go down, because I'm about to have fun with this. Because he, just like he said, I'm old, I'm tired. This game is for the young, you know, and the hungry. Because now he's looking for a challenge to be like, man, can you challenge to stop me? So I'm thinking that that's what he's meaning. And Loki is kind of like, oh my gosh. So when they, you know, Sylvie and Loki fought, I'm glad that they kissed, because Loki really did like Sylvie, which is so weird because it's a female form of himself. So I understand how narcissistic that is, and that why he likes her so much. But they kiss, she fights him, and she sends him back to the TVA, and then she inevitably stabs Kang in the chest, killing him. And then you can see outside the multiverse is just starting. Like, you just seen branch timelines over here, I'm like, oh my gosh, we are really seeing the creation of the multiverse. So, and then when Loki gets back to the TVA, he runs to go tell B-17 and Morbius about what's going on. Hey, we can't stop this. Look at this timeline. It's crazy. We can't stop everything. And then, lo and behold, Morbius looks at him like, who are you? Like, slow down. Who are you? What are you? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Loki just stops right quick and just like looks up at the statue, and it's of Kang instead of the timekeepers. So evidently Kang already knew that was going to happen, told everyone the truth in the TVA, who the ruler is. I'm the ruler, I'm the keeper of the timeline, and somehow erased their memory about Loki entirely. So Loki is no longer a dangerous variant. He's just another guy. I'm like, oh my gosh. Then you, at the post-credit scenes, it says you're getting a Loki season 2 because it's not done. And I just seen that it may be confirmed that Loki is going to be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, as he should. That's the only person he is going to run into to be like, I know who you are. I have a brief history with you, but because that Loki is from that first Avengers, he doesn't really know Doctor Strange, like how Thor and Loki went to go see Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. So Loki has to go find Doctor Strange and be like, we have a huge problem on our hands. Yes, and I really feel like Loki is going to get killed at some point because he's not going to be a part of Avengers, but he's just going to get that message over to Doctor Strange. I'm here for it. This is, bar none, some of the best TV I've seen since The Mandalorian, coming from Disney+. This is one of my second favorite shows of this year, and it's 6 episodes. That's what's crazy. Like, you jam-packed and made it fleshed out enough that it's really good. 6 episodes of pure goodness every Wednesday. Then you have it in the middle of the week. It's not a Friday. It's in the middle of the week. I love that. So you didn't give too much time to let people know, what was going to be happening next. And all the theorists on YouTube, they are correct. That was Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors is going to be a formidable opponent for the next decade for Marvel, because he's going to show up in everything and everybody, conquering everything, knowing what to do. You can't kill him. You see how Sylvia's swinging at him? He already knows every move you're about to make. I am here for this. Man, this is going to be good. So, if you guys enjoyed my review of season 1 of Loki, subscribe to my channel, post, comment down below, and like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.